Hi buddy, welcome back to IronMan, episode 14 with me, Sid. And I have skipped a few days, not as many as I thought. I've had a bit of rift activity, so I set myself up with a little murder hatch there. The only issue with that is I do have to go out to close it, because I can't close it from the inside. My lamellae molds have fired, and I killed a bear. The bear was in a hole in the ground, so I blocked the top off and killed it. There it is, along with some other stuff. I've got a whole load of hides curing. Thanks to the comment from, let me just get this one, Necros, saying the longbow requires either fat or resin. I've actually got them now, but it doesn't matter. And it's, if you look at the recipe, it's one or the other, and it can be done with pelts as well, which is interesting because I've got pelts. You can do it with a small pelt, so got some pelts curing. I need to get more because we need to get more lamellae in, and I have been out and harvested a whole load of copper. I do need to go and get some more as soon as the sun comes up. The bear's hides are in there. That's doing its thing. They've got stuff on them. Obviously, all of this still doing its stuff very slowly, but yeah, that is not the fastest process in the world. I'll say that much for it. Right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I suppose we should take this down. It's an ugly eyesore. So, order of today is more pelts and more copper, I think, and probably in that order. If I can get, I've got to find animals which are both well fed and little plump little animals. That's what we need. Plump, juicy little animals. Right, let me. Shame you can't stack into the same block space, isn't it? That's always. We'll take those out because we're going to need some space for this lot. But I would like, by the end of this episode, to have at least a passing amount of armour available. So that's going to be a thing. That's the objective. What time is it? 5 o'clock in the morning. Sun should be up soon. So we are going to be probably heading out to some of these copper over here. With it being green, there's more likelihood of those animals having fat as well as hide. So yeah, we'll head that direction, and well, I'll see you in a bit. Alright, well, we've got a few hides in various states of curing now. Loads of meat, copper, and I need to head back home, I think. Oh, did I just see something else out of the corner of my... No, I didn't. But ultimately, that's kind of my objective. I want to be able to approach caves a little bit more daringly. You know, armoured as I am. Well, actually, unarmoured as I am. My last suit, my wooden armour is obviously now broke. Makes caving dangerous, and when you're in a game where dying involves you being I haven't got anywhere to stash any hides. Oh, I've got the little one, I suppose. Sorry, Bunny. This is nothing personal, mate, but come on. It was just meat. I mean, it will all go to the cause. What I've also started doing is I'm marking the waypoints that I've depleted in red. I may actually change those to crosses. Does it matter? No. But I sometimes think, refining your navigation points on your maps and coming up with systems where you can look at a map and instantly recognise something as being something else. I mean, realistically, pardon me, it doesn't matter which ones be depleted. We could just delete them, but they're there more for historical purposes, where you can look back and go, that was me and I did that, and then I did that and I did that, and I think it's more of an interest thing than a survival thing. You don't need to do it to survive in the game, you just do it because you can now. So that's your wheat tan. I need to make wheat tanning, don't I? But what we'll have to do is I need to sort my inventory out before I try and do anything, because that is going to be crucial. So a bit more of that, and then we'll stick you and you in there. Hopefully that will be enough copper, but I'm not going to bank on it. I have got 3 fat. I think as fat is renewable, we'll probably use, well, actually they're all renewable, let's be honest. Oh damn it, I've just kind of pushed that one back by combining it. Oh well, it doesn't matter, it doesn't. 50, I'm not going to do those though, because if I put those together I'll cry. Probably use resin for the bow. In fact, we can almost certainly do the bow now, I think. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Have I got... Although I'd prefer not to use the large... No, I'll wait. Oh, we got a temporal storm incoming. That's interesting. Had I got a... Not that I need a storm shelter particularly, I just need to be able to survive the storm. That's so we'll just do my usual trick, I think, for the storm. I have got that to eat, so we'll get that down my neck. And we'll get you out and have another. I have got a cooking pot of red meat stew in there as well, but I've only got the 1 crock, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. Let me take those 6, let's make myself some more firewood. We'll get this meat cooked up, because I've got probably no better way of preparing this at the moment. Well, I mean, I've got better ways of preparing it. I'm going to need more firewood than that. Boop. That's not going to finish it all, but it'll make a start. And we need to start working on lamellae for the armor, I think, is the next job out the gate. So I'm going to need one of my hammers, the one that's worn. I'm going to need to take you and you. I'm going to probably break this hammer doing this. It doesn't matter. I've got 2. Oh, maybe I won't. Who knows? Wow. Okay, that's fine. So if I take the copper out of there, put that into here, we've got 6, 12, 18. We've probably got enough copper to make a full suit of copper lamellae. However, I need to make 8 at a time because I only have 8 molds, and I've only got 1 fire pit actually at the moment as well, so which is currently cooking meat. Yeah, lots happening. Let's just move on with this. So we're going to take these huge hides out, scrape those, and we're going to take our bucket and combine that with that, and then we're going to make some weak tannin. But once you've done the first soak, the urgency to treat your hides is kind of reduced. So, but yeah, lots of keeping the jobs on the trot there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Yeah, see, I'd ideally like these because I think I can just use one of those for the bow. I don't think I need to use multiples. I just need to use a pelt or leather. Pelt is the most likely thing. Anyway, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, it's storm time. A little bit premature, I feel there, but don't you say anything. No. But almost storm time. I mean, very close to storm time. Oh, okay, it's storm time. Oh man, premature still. Here we go. Be back once we get to the end of this, whether I survive or not. I just had a drifter get in here, managed to spawn in. This is not 100% perfect. I think he probably spawned above here and dropped in. But yeah, luckily it was only a deep drifter and he only managed to take half my life. Had that been anything else, I think I would have been deaded. But yeah, there's still time. See you in a bit. Well, we survived. Just now we just need to work out what the threat situation is like around my home. I can still hear a few growlings. Whoop, and down and get that off. Right. Whoa, hello. Oof. That's a two-headed drifter in there. If it were daytime, I'd leg it. Anything out? I mean, that might still be the best option. Hello. Still lobbing rocks at me. I don't think I'm up for a two-headed drifter. I mean, it'd be nice to be up for a two-headed drifter. Oh! Git. But, yeah. I might be better off being anywhere but here. How are my hides doing? Still curing. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. This seems like a good time to grab some food and book it and let these guys just despawn. I think this is probably the safer option. So, well, that's another storm survived, although that was a little bit hairier because we definitely had something spawn in with me, or spawn in a place that allowed it to get in with me. I'm not going to say that it was spawning into the same space, because I don't think it was. As far as I'm aware, that technique still works. But somewhat worrying. So I need to think about the future and about future storms, whether we continue to try weather them like that, whether I try and build a storm shelter to farm them, because obviously I'm missing out on opportunities on some valuable resources but I'm missing out at the expense of not taking unnecessary risks. Let's see if they gave them a chance to despawn or not. And obviously, you know, in a game where life is somewhat more critical, oh, I want those chickens. Hang on. Got them. In a game where life is somewhat more critical, because, you know, dying involves a respawn in a different location, the RNG is very real. I can get rid of those, I think. I'm not bothered about the bones. Then we do need to keep conscious that life isn't a resource. Now, for example, Per on the server was telling me that when she was playing on the Aura Fury server, there were, I think she said Russian chiselers, and I don't know whether, but basically the chiseling and they were using life as a resource to be spent in much the same way as other resources. So you know, in the same way that you would utilize, I don't know, your wood, your natural, your farming, they would chisel until they died, and then they'd respawn. They'd set the spawn where they were chiseling, they'd chisel until they died, and then they'd literally pick up the stuff, carry on chiseling, and just watch that hunger meter go down until they died. And that is not, to me, the right way to treat life within Vintage Story. I mean, certainly not in any game, but, you know, clearly if there's no penalty to dying, why would you not? So it's a bit of an interesting moral dilemma in that kind of set. Anyway, the good news is we have got these are curing happily. We've got the one hide large, which is good enough for a single piece of body lamellar, and we have got the copper, which we need to take 80 of those and pour myself 80 lamellar. So I am going to need my crucible, and we're going to have to get started on these. Now I'm going to try and play this sensible, and I'll get them up to 700 using firewood, and then we'll move over. But I don't really want to use oak, so I think, what are you? You are a shovelhead. I don't really. Can I just get rid of that? Thank you. Right, let me go and make myself a couple more, another axe head, and I'll go and grab some timber that I can turn, you know, into firewood quite happily, and that should allow me to get up to temperature, and then we'll get the last bit of the temperature will be done using charcoal and black coal and brown coal. That seems to be a sensible solution to me. Right, that's a maple log. These are pine logs. Let's try and get a seed before I break them, and then we can just replant. I'm not worried about coming up with lots of seeds, but I would like lots of sticks, so we'll take advantage of that while we're at it. Yeah, let me get some resources. Be back in a bit. Alright, and let's get the first slot going. I am going to need, I think it's 20 of these, so this is going to be 5 lots of cooking of the copper. I probably don't want to let that set before, so I'm going to That should set before that melts, I think. So, and it is currently at temperature. Mind you, if it's at temperature, then it'll melt quick. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, dude, let's. I haven't got a watering can, have I? No. Now I do have. Boop boop. Another 4 there. I'm going to have to check myself out here because. 1, 2, 3. That's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I think that is what we need. Let's check. Copper requires 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, okay. We'll get away with that then. So let's pop those in here. We'll get this lot going again with that. I use my brown coal, so you burn for 84 seconds. I'm going to try with just 2 of those. We may need a third, and we'll distribute this carefully and get them all to a point where, you know, we're good. Okay, I've got a little bit of this to do. I'll be back in a bit. Alright, we have lamellae. We don't quite have all the hides, but we have enough to make. Certainly we can make the body, and we should we haven't got enough to make the we'll have a medium once that's cured, so we'll use the small hide for that, and one of those. Actually keep that on my person, it will cure faster. So we are going to have to just wait for these to catch up. They're not a million miles away. We are in a period of high rift activity, which of course means we have 1 or 2 friends hanging around out there. Which I suppose will keep me busy for a short while. So I'm just going to tidy up this lot and I'll be back in a bit. Alright, we've now got the small pelt, so I think that will go hand in hand there to make the headpiece. It'll also go nicely with that. Let me get rid of you. And we're going to use resin because, well, they're all renewable realistically, but we'll get our bow going. So all we need now is for the, I mean, wasting a large, let's just have a look. A large pelt can be used to make, well, 3 large pelts specifically can be used to make a fur coat. I don't think I'm going to need any of that. What else can we use it for? We can use it for a hunting pack, but that doesn't really help us because this is 5 slots. That's actually worse. So it doesn't really help us. In fact, it doesn't help us with anything, does it? So I might as well just utilise the 2 large pelts when they're... Really, you can mix and match. Let me just try something. You cannot. Okay, that's fine. So we need to wait for either the large or the medium to finish, and that will give us our leg armour. What else we need to do is we need to make ourselves some arrows. I'll make as many as I can with that. I've got a few of those left. Now in theory that means that I can leave my spears behind. These arrows are not going to be as good because they're flint, which means they do minus half a point of damage. But because I am a hunter, I'll get plus 20%, so it's kind of should net off. That should do 3.7, 3.25. 20% of that is probably about half anyway, so yeah, we're almost certainly in the realms of netting that one off. I'm going to keep the sling because the sling is nice and cheap for well, for everything. And obviously if I run out of bows, the sling does damage as well, so it's reasonable. But that gives us a bow. We just need you to cure or you to cure. One of those. Back in a second. Alright, and we have got... Now, I presume I can do this with 2 large. I hope I can, because otherwise I'm going to have to wait for the medium. You can't. Interesting. You see? Two medium. Oh, you can do it with a large. It's okay, that's fine. In which case we'll do like that then. So we just got you curing, and you might as well go in there to cure now because I don't need you to desperately be curing. I'm keeping the flint because flint tools are really handy and the thing, but that frees up a lot of our inventory space because we've got 2 slots back. Yeah, 2 slots back from that. And I think that will kind of put us in a situation where we actually have some armor. Now healing effectiveness is low, so we have to remember to take our armor off. Our walk speed is actually normal because we get the bonus. Our hunger rate is higher, but food at the moment is not a specific problem. Our accuracy is good. We charge our ranged weapons slower, and that is kind of it. So I have now got the means to clank around wearing this. Now the first batch of leather will undoubtedly be going towards my backpacks, but I may then, after I've got that, either go for leather or gambles and for just day-to-day wear. Now the problem with armor is it's interesting. It's kind of a let me a bit higher. The RNG. Oh, hello. It didn't actually kill a rabbit with an arrow. That was very surprising. I mean, a waste of arrows, but 2, I can kill the rabbit with... Oh, hang on. There's a... Did I put an arrow over there somewhere? I feel like one overshot, but I can't see it. Oh well, that's fine. We've still got 48. Copper arrows, or even better, would be probably more useful to us. But having a lighter armor is probably not a bad idea. So the only other thing I wanted to mention this episode while we clank around in this armor is, if we are staying in this area, I think we need to think about a proper base area. and I am kind of thinking, if I can get myself around here, that's fine, but it's a little bit limited. This, if we have to have a look on the map, that is quite a reasonable sized expanse of land, and it's only connected down there. So we could kind of dig that down, make it a little bit, you know, more fortifiable, and I think I shouldn't really be sprinting around as well. This is another key to survival, in my opinion. Sprinting, you run into problems, whether it be off a cliff, bears, wolves, you know, whatever. If you take your time and just have a little slow walk around, you hear the problems. Usually, you know, you hear the grrr of the burr, or the growl of the wolf, or the howl of the wolf even. And you seldom go running off the edge of a cliff. So yeah, as a survival technique, take it slow and steady. Just enjoy yourself. But we are, well, we're fully armoured now. I mean, it's not the greatest armour in the world. It's still only tier 1, but it is, at least, if I can get myself there, we can jump over to here. We can F4 and we can F12. We should be able to take a hit a little bit better, which is good news, because, you know, it wasn't cheap. But yeah, I think on that note, we're going to call this episode here, and until next time, I will see you soon. Bye for now.